um, yeah, he was our worker number three after Sat and Mahinder. And I'll speak out a few things that stand out about Melvin. And I, Melvin, so then it was our initial, it was our initial stages of trying to gather, trying to like put up a show, a company, so to speak, or an outfit, a startup. And Melvin there was an individual whom I had spoken with, who was known to you. Yeah. And then that's how you got
Someone
into
from Mumbai. He was from Shimla and he wanted to move to Chandigarh.
Yeah. So Melvin basically was kind of a referral from an individual with whom I had spoken, and I'll tell you the truth, Melvin. Around those days, I was like freaking frustrated trying to like hire people, and Sad had also like done his serpent things, had declined, and then was like Damadol, and I spoke with Melvin. Uh, and one thing stood out about Melvin. So it wasn't a technical interview. Melvin was the only individual with whom I really haven't had a technical interview. But as we all know, Melvin's standout feature is he never buckles down. So there was something, like the whole personality, attitude aspect of interviewing. There was something where I asked Melvin, and it was all phone, like it was all telephonic. I hadn't met him, and I was like, so, this is one of those personality or attitude-ish questions. What will you do if this? And Melvin, in very plain and simple words, said, if I don't know something, I'll just come up and ask either you or somebody else who knows about it. And he didn't stop, and I kind of like that. And like I said, Melvin, I was already frustrated, trying to find people. And I was like, okay, Melvin, let's do an interview. And we didn't have an office then. And I was like, okay, I'm just doing this like namesake interview. Certainly, if he's in, then I should hire him so that we can start. And we didn't have a location. And Sat's interview had already cost us a lot because we interviewed him at Taj. And, I was trying to be cheap on Melvin. Melvin, what was that? Hotel couple? Orange. Yeah, that's Sector 35 Hotel Orange. I was like, Melvin, let's meet over there. And I was with a friend of mine, and so we got there first, and I was waiting for him. And I was like sure that, whatever thing this turns out to be, I'm going to hire him. And then he comes on a Bajaj scooter.
Vespa.
You were a Vespa? Okay. Well, because you were on it, it looked like a Bajaj. So, so that's where I'm at time. And okay, I'm just going to push myself to hire him. So we ended up doing a bit more conversation. And again, his standout feature was his go-gettingness and his being kind of like very simply honest with what it is, and that if needed, then he can like hang on and check on, and yeah. So that's how it started with Melvin, and then before Sam, let's just say that before Sam there was Melvin. So Melvin was my training pillow partner. So Melvin and I spent a lot of time. Melvin basically, Melvin was just like in his own dhun to start off with, and I expected Melvin to be doing things a bit like I would be like doing Outlook reminders and all. And so there was one instance I remember. There was just three of us, like in the Heaven Joint. So it was just me, Sat, and Melvin. Sat is like the definition of punctuality. and I am also trying to, we just started a show, so I'm also trying to put up my best face and try to do everything on time and all that. So once we decided to do like a meet between the three of us, it was a half an hour meet, and I sent like either an Outlook invite or an email like 2 or 3 hours before that. And so our setup back then used to be, it was our first office in 34, real small. And there was a cabin where I would seat, and then there was like a pseudo cabin where Melvin would seat with the door between us, and then an open area where Sat would sit. And our meet started, and Sat, arrived there, and it was a 30-minute meet, and we could like clearly hear Melvin is on phone, and when it was around like the minute number 22, Melvin shows up. Like, so we do our meet, and I'm like, later on, I was like, so Melvin, what man? And Melvin was like, yeah, I was busy, I was making calls, right? So I was like, making calls, and the way he answered, like, it pretty much put a stop over there. So yeah, that's how it started, and traversing the journey back from that point to the present point where Melvin has taken up so much responsibility and is, as of this point of time, the prime mover for our second most profitable account, I believe. Millennium, in terms of monthly gross margin, has already taken up the spot number 2 after Caterpillar, and Melvin is at the forefront of the show, having taken upon it from US and then trained within India niche and in the over recruiting. So it's been a long journey, and obviously 5 years and a lot of things came in. And for the longest time, while PG&E was our second strongest account, Melvin was again the front runner on that. Plus, Melvin's spirit, basically, he takes up on like anything and everything. Uh, and when Melvin started, it was initially Johnson and Johnson and PG&E, and a lot of times a new account will come up back in the days, and we will front Melvin on that new account, and it could be like anything and everything, and he will take on it. In fact, Melvin back in late 2010 also had a controls engineering fit. Yun Wang, something like that, on Caterpillar. It was an H1 transfer. Unfortunately, it didn't materialize because of some H1 transfer issues. But yeah, so Melvin has done anything and everything that has gotten thrown on him, and truly come through everything. And then the other piece is his helpful nature. I kind of remember when we just started. So we decided to hire Melvin, and we were like about to start the office. And Melvin would ask me, Karan, do you need any help? And I remember the Airtel piece. I was like, Melvin, I'm looking for Airtel. He's like, Karan, I know somebody in Airtel. I can, help. So yeah, I mean, it's the whole spirit with which Melvin would, jut in and offer either things from an operations perspective, or India recruiting, or recruiting, or anything and everything. Over time, so many years have gone by, and the other thing that stands out about Melvin is he's the only individual we have which comes, the soft skills. So, when it comes to soft skills, or the admin, clerical recruiting, India RPO in general, not just us, but overall, if you look at, even your past companies, India RPO has strength in technical IT, and then comes, professional and engineering and whatnot. But when it comes to administrative positions, clerical positions, where you need to talk in and out with like Americans, and within that, the whole population segment, which is not really that much used to, so to speak, by you can say non non-Americans, so to speak, and the amount of soft skills it takes, and the softness, and basically it's a totally different realm of recruiting, which it's mostly untouched by RPOs based on the business model. And Melvin has been tremendously successful in that arena for us. So that is something which is of great value. And other than that, I would say, yeah, so it's been a great journey with Melvin throughout the course. And, we are very happy that Melvin is around and still going strength. And during the course of these years, Melvin's life has gone through lots of turns and twists. He has had a baby, and very recently his parents moved over here to be with him. So obviously he uh, has settled upon what he wants to do with professional aspect of his life, and um, and with that, um, I think Sad should also speaks a little bit about Melvin, because he's had a long association.